Welcome to Ask Me How I Know, multifamily real estate investing stories of struggle to success, where each week unscripted interviews with guests bring a fresh perspective to problem solving in the multifamily niche, as well as feed your mindset. Success stories are great, but everyone knows the important part of the story, the part between the struggles of starting and arriving, and it often gets left out. Ask Me How I Know is like the back house of a restaurant. Pass through the prim and proper front of the house and join us in the harmonious chaos of the back of the house where honest, unscripted conversations take place and transformation happens. In life and investing, there are no shortages of wild scenarios, so no matter where you are in your investment journey, this podcast is for you. There is no pomp and fanfare here, just endless opportunity to build your investing and mindset playbooks. This is your retreat to breathe, build, and laugh. Welcome to Ask Me How I Know. I'm Julie Holly, and I'm happy you're here. Welcome to Ask Me How I Know, multifamily real estate investing stories of struggle to success. I wanted to take just a moment to introduce myself, Julie Holly, and tell you a little bit of what should you expect when you are watching or listening to Ask Me How I Know. Well, let me do that in just a little flip-flop order and tell you a bit about Ask Me How I Know. Might be more interesting. I don't know. Ask Me How I Know was birthed from this concept of I want to know more about what people have overcome in their investing journeys. So as I was listening to all the different podcasts out there, and I have so many favorites. In fact, I have so many favorites that over on my investor website, 3 Keys Investments, I've actually created like a top 5 list of some of my favorite podcasts, but it's like 5. How can I limit it to 5? Well, anyhow, as I was listening to these different podcasts, like a total podcast junkie, maybe you're one of us, and I noticed that there was something that was missing, and it was that part that was between where people fell in love with the concept of jumping into multifamily investing and their success. However they define success, because everyone defines it differently, so I'm not going to go there. But I was like, okay, what happened in the in-between spot? Like, how did you overcome all the different hurdles and obstacles that came your way? So Ask Me How I Know is designed to just take what are the struggles that our investors are facing along the way, and how did they overcome them? Those struggles could be personal struggles, they might be mindset struggles, they might be struggles with closing on time, they might be struggles with raising enough capital. There are so many different struggles, because in all reality, those of us who are invested in multifamily, we know that it's a gauntlet. You are going to have all sorts of things tossed your way, and along the way you'll have a little break, a little reprieve, and you can catch your breath, but something else is going to come down the pipe. So here at Ask Me How I Know, I'm hoping that we can build up a really awesome toolbox, like the 911, multifamily 911 playbook type thing, where we can draw upon each other's experiences so that when we experience it, it's not if, because we're all going to experience our own iteration of what is of a problem, of a scenario. And so when that comes up, we'll have some responses already kind of pre-programmed, or some people that we know, oh yeah, if that person went through that, maybe I can reach out, because we also know that multifamily is a really close-knit world, and we know that people don't mind receiving phone calls, and they don't mind talking with others to help build them up. I absolutely love that about multifamily investing. So here, we're going to have candid conversations. It's some of these episodes that you're going to see in the play out, they're honest. And I love that about this. This is more like the back house of a restaurant, where you walk through the front of the restaurant and the maitre d' is prim and proper and everything looks so pretty and the food looks amazing. But if you went behind the scenes where the chefs are, it's loud and plates are banging around and maybe something's burnt or a plate is dropped. But at the end, it's delivered. The delivery
comes out and it's perfect and it's flawless. But at the back house of the restaurant, there's some chaos, there's some confusion, and things get sorted out, and then voila, something beautiful is presented and delicious. So here at Ask Me How I Know, that's the goal. The goal is, let's not candy coat things. Let's not let's not ignore some of the things that we need to discuss. Let's just have an honest conversation. And my guests have been really awesome because this is unscripted. Every single interview, I don't have a series of questions that I am asking. I am playing off of our conversation. So you'll notice that this is more of a conversational style podcast. And I'm not going to lie. I am new to podcasting, obviously, because this is like episode 2. But my point is that I'm just asking, please be gracious. I have had the opportunity to see how it is to launch, what it takes to launch a podcast now. And I can see the growth and development with the interviews that I have done that you are going to get to listen or watch over the next few months. And they're awesome. So many amazing, amazing people. And I don't want anyone to miss out. So if my sound quality is poor, or if you're on YouTube and you're like, Julie, your lighting's terrible, if there's something, I just hope that you'll stick around. And there are those little growing pains that you go through when something is new. So just stick around. It's totally going to be worth your while, because the interviews just get better and better and better and better, and everything's just going to improve along the way. So grow into greatness with me. What do you say? I think it sounds like a great plan. A little bit about Julie Holly. Golly, yeah, you don't know me. Hi, I'm Julie Holly. I happen to absolutely love people. I have this thing about me that I was created to where I just naturally love people, and I naturally see the potential and the opportunity and the good things in people. And I absolutely love that. So jumping into podcasting wasn't really a big jump, but I will say it's really uncomfortable and it's really vulnerable when you're on this side of things, and you're putting everything out there. So please understand that there's a lot of vulnerability in this, but you are worth it. You are absolutely worth all of the uncomfortable moments that I've spent recording episodes on mindset and interviewing fellow multifamily investors. So what do? Well, I'm obviously a multifamily investor, but I'm not going to candy coat anything with you ever, because honesty is always the best policy. And I'm a newer multifamily investor. Right now, my husband and I are limited partners over in Huntsville, is where we're limited partners. And we're really excited about experiencing that part of multifamily investing. Some of you will want to do exactly what we've done, and that is become a passive or limited partner. And what I love about that is that it's hands off. We invested some money and we get all the benefits and perks without the headaches or anything like that. But you know what? I kind of like a little bit of pain and suffering. We say that because I'm a mountain biker, and that's one of our jokes, is that we like to suffer along the way, because to get to the top of a mountain, you kind of have to suffer a little bit. And the same is true with this. We really want to be able to help out we want to help out people. Right. And we want people to have safe investments, as safe as possible, predictable investments, investments that have returns that deliver. And we see that we're able to offer that through our multifamily investing. And so we started out as limited partners, and now we're ready to roll with becoming general partner. We actually are in a coaching program, and we believe that that's really important because we care about our investors. We would never want to put anybody in jeopardy. And who you surround yourself with, and their knowledge and their expertise and their willingness to pour into you and to ensure and give second and third eyes is really important when you are beginning at something, so that you're not making any type of errors. That's also kind of why I love this podcast, is because we are at the newer end of our journey. And through this podcast, I've been able to meet so many incredible people. I've been able to develop friendships and cross paths with people and have conversations that a lot of people don't get to have. You get to listen to them, and I'm so excited to share that with you. I want to tell you also that at Ask Me How I Know, we're building the 911 playbook, but we're also building our mindset playbook. You see, if we have a bunch of trash floating around in our mind, we're not going to be able to gain any traction in life. We're not going to be able to move and push towards those goals and dreams that we have. And so here at Ask Me How I Know, yes, I'm going to have a weekly interview for you to listen to, but I'm also going to do some short mindset pieces each week as well. So expect to have your interview and expect a dose of mindset, because if our mind is in the tank, if we have wrong thinking, we will not be able to accomplish our goals, our dreams, and our desires. Along the way, I am asking, as a new podcaster, I cannot gain any traction at all. I will be stuck at the bottom of the podcast world unless you help me out. Really, it's all like, I need you. So please make sure that you subscribe. That lets all the little Google crawlers and all of those know that this is actually something people are interested in. People want to grow their mindset. People want to grow their multifamily knowledge base. Do that however you want, like, subscribe, follow, rate, add comments, share with friends. We've all been through this. We know there is a whole gamut of ways that you can help out, and I would appreciate it.
Thanks so much for joining me for another episode of Ask Me How I Know. My guests are the most humble successes, so be sure to show them your appreciation by rating this episode 5 stars, which sounds silly, but let's be real. Ratings, likes, and shares, they take no time at all, but make all the difference in the world, if only to boost morale. Also, since I don't spend time on the how and why they got into investing, be sure to check out the show notes to get to know more about today's guests, including other podcasts they've been on that has a more traditional format that will give other details about their investment journey. It'll also tell you things like the most influential person in their life and what they're reading right now, as well as how to connect with them. And please, subscribe and rate Ask Me How I Know so it reaches other listeners like you. Until next time, go find your freedom.